Friends, we started a series yesterday. In this series, we are talking about productivity and juxtaposing it with God. The title of the series is Why Productivity is the Greatest Qualifier in God's Kingdom. I must warn you, it's going to take us a bit of a while to derive this, so I've been telling you starting yesterday that you shouldn't just listen to one episode and make a conclusion and run away with that conclusion, because we need to balance. At one interval or one episode, we might be talking about something, and then it needs to be balanced by something else in the next episode. So it's going to be a point by point basis until we nail this. But I do believe, let me just tell you, even before we can go very far, that productivity is the greatest qualifier in God's kingdom. I know that's controversial, so stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
So in the episode yesterday, I ended by talking about balance, and I want us to pick it up from there, even as we are talking about productivity being the greatest qualifier in God's kingdom. Today, balance is a great word, and it's a great aspect in life that I respect. In my trainings and my coaching, I normally deploy the commonly used wheel of life. You know what the wheel of life is? It's a test that I normally use to determine the all-roundedness of our lives. Sometimes you can be excelling in one area and not excelling in the other. Let me tell you something. Every time I've deployed that tool or that test to as many people as possible in as many coaching sessions and trainings that I've conducted, I've realized something. There are 7 aspects of our lives. There are 8 aspects of our lives, 8 different areas of our lives. There is, if I get out of my mind, right out of my mind, I can see there is physical, that's your health. There is spiritual, that's your spirit. There is mental, that's your mind. There is lifestyle, that's adventure. There is business, that's business and career. And then there is finances, that's money. And then there are other things like friendships, and that's about your relationships. And then there is family in there, and so on. When I do these tests, did you know something? One of the things that I normally realize in nearly all the trainings and coaching I've conducted over the past 10 plus years, the most performed or the best sphere in life in as many people as possible, regardless of their age, regardless of their race, regardless of their nationality, has always been the sphere of the spiritual. The spiritual life deals with our piousness, our righteousness, our holiness, deals with also our purpose, and so on. People perform so well in this arena, but then it gets beaten out by all the other arenas. Their physical life, their mental health, their business, their finances, and so on. And the purpose, of course, is to firmly establish the roundedness in my trainings, the roundedness of life. Please know that I am not saying that this is religious. I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about spirituality, and I know people can go into debates about that, but I'm not going to dwell in there. There is a heaven and earth difference between spirituality and religiosity. And I can see highly religious people that are not even as spiritual as you would imagine. A case in point is Jesus Christ against the Pharisees. These guys had laws upon laws. They are seriously religious, so much so that they cannot take care of someone on a Sabbath day, which is actually spirituality. Their religion binds them. When I use the word bind, I'm talking about deters them. Their religion deters them from being spiritual. So I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about spirituality, but I don't want to digress a lot. There is a lie that if you are good, that's what I want to dwell on. There is a lie that if you're a good person, if you're a spiritual person, and if you're religious enough, you are destined to excel. It is a lie. You know why? Because very many people have bought into that particular lie. There are very many religious gymnastics that people will do. That's why, let me tell you, when it comes to that particular subject, you can cheat very many people using religion. You can lie to very many people using religion as a weapon. But people will not prosper specifically because they are religious. You can take that to the bank. People will not prosper specifically because they are spiritual. You can take that to the bank. If you're a Christian and you're born again, don't be cheated. And I'm going to be as bold as possible speaking this. Don't be cheated that you are born again-ness, you being a new creation. The Bible tells us in the book of John chapter 1 verse 12, it says that to them who accepted, he gave them the power to become children of God. Children born of, not born of a husband's will. Children not born of man's will. Children born of God. Born of the Spirit of God. You can be born of the Spirit of God, but that is not the ticket for you to be successful in this life. Being born again gives you access into the heavenly realm. When the age of the world of the end of the age comes, you get access to the heavenly realm and into the presence of God. But here on earth, even as Jesus Christ said, don't take them out of this world. Leave them here on earth. They are the salt of the earth. They are the light of this world. Transactions in this world will not be only done through your spirituality and your religiosity. And that's why I am saying, even when you look at the scriptures themselves, that productivity is the greatest qualifier in God's kingdom. Yesterday I told you that over 60% of the teachings and the parables that Jesus Christ used, guess what? 60% of them were talking about productivity, commerce, money, finances, industry, entrepreneurship, management, and all these things, and leadership. It's talking about all, not biasness, not, of course, righteousness is there. It is there. I am not throwing the baby with the bathwater away. I am just saying that there's got to be some balance that we do need. There is a lie that if you're a good spiritual person, if you're a good religious person, you are destined to excel. The lie continues to post that God gives you favor. God gives you favor. God gives you grace. God gives you blessings. God gives you an anointing in order to prosper if you are a highly spiritual person. And so what people do, they spend most of their time, and I am speaking about me, you spend most of your time doing religiosity, doing spirituality, and neglecting the other aspects or the other spheres of your life. And if you look at the scriptures, they are touching on those aspects of your life. Scriptures tell us in the book of Genesis chapter 8, remember after the flood, God said from now on, summer and winter, seed time and harvest, day and night, these things shall not cease, they shall continue. What was he talking about? He was talking about principles. He was talking about the way the world operates, the laws that govern this world. So you can be as spiritual as possible, as religious as possible, but if you are not going to use and harness the laws, for example, gravity works on you if you are born again or if you are not. If you are born again and the rain falls on your land and you don't plant a seed, the person who is not born again is going to plant a seed and they will reap a harvest, a bumper harvest, while you and your religiosity will not get anything. My point is that your religiosity is not going to deliver success to you alone. You're religious, and I know it sounds like I'm throwing away the baby with the bathwater. It sounds like I'm now a heathen. I don't believe in God. I do believe in God, but you will be shocked, friends. You'll be shocked that God is a goal setter. God sets goals. God plans. God prioritizes. God secludes things and puts them into parts. God creates systems. In fact, God created systems so much so that he is not even needed in the equation. How about you, God's creature? The lie continues to post that God gives you favor, gives you grace, gives you blessings in order to prosper if you're a highly spiritual person. But that is not going to save you. It's half the truth. I talked about balance. That is half the truth. Listen, if you're highly spiritual and lazy, you're born again, you pray 20 times a day, you worship God, you clean yourself. You don't miss a service. You are in the house of worship all the time. You do all the libations, all the religious libations that need to be done. God is not going to partner with you to be successful just because you're doing all that stuff. If you're a highly spiritual person, but you are not disciplined, you don't apply yourself, you sleep up to 10 a.m. and you binge watch things up to midnight just because you're religious, God is not going to partner with you to be successful because you are a religious person, you got born again, and maybe you did your fasting and you did your 5 tenets of Islam. He's not going to partner with you. You can even give to the poor all you want, but if you're a lazy person, you're not going to be successful. If you are highly spiritual and you are disorganized, God is not about to partner with you if you are disorganized. God is a God of order. If there is any person who has order, believe you me, it is God. Look at the way He created your systems, your nervous system, your digestive system, your blood circulatory system, your reproductive system. Look at the way He created you. He is a God of order. And if you are born again, you're religious, and you are not a person of order, you are not successful. If you're a highly spiritual person but you lack consistency, you do something haphazardly, you do something today and the next time you're going to do it is next month and so on, you lack consistency. God put consistency all over the place. Every day the sun is consistent. Every day the minute is consistent. One of the biggest SI units of God's marvel of creation is consistency. So if you are religious, you are spiritual, and you lack consistency, you are not excelling. I think you get my point. That productivity is one of the greatest qualifiers in God's kingdom. And I'm still developing this, and I'm going to land the plane. I'm still circling the airport. I'm going to land the plane soon enough. So think about that for a minute. And today we have talked about those things, but tomorrow I'm going to talk about why God is particular about productivity. You thought God was particular about holiness? You thought God was particular about righteousness? You thought God was particular about purity? He is. But I'm going to ask you to listen to why God is so particular about productivity in the episode tomorrow. In fact, I've already mentioned some of those things in the episode yesterday. But until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.